Hi guys, Jeremy Scott here with another episode of the Re-Emerging Earth podcast, the No Frills podcast, which discusses all kinds of things to do with the spiritual nature of this world and other worlds, as well as other topics which may be related, with the idea or with the goal to help us to continue to re-emerge from the darkness that we're currently in into a more enlightened way. Some call it the New Age. I have heard that recently, that we are moving into a new age, and I guess that's in line with the Aquarius kind of thinking from a couple of years ago when we moved into Aquarius, the Aquarian age, the New Age. And I do feel that there is a huge wave of positivity that's surging around the planet right now, and there does appear to be an underlying foundation of positivity where before it felt more like hit and miss, just little pockets here and there. I feel that these little pockets are joining together, just like cells do in the body, to create new cells or to create new organs and so on, to repair things. There is a surge of positivity around the world, little pockets here and there, gathering momentum, gathering pace to bring this more enlightened way of living into this physical realm, which I call the University of Life. You could imagine it because it's all in different countries around the world, and I like to view those countries as campuses in this University of Life. So those campuses are joining forces, you could say. Still a way to go yet though, as I'm sure you're aware. Well, I'm in the park again. This time I'm not walking around, still got my coffee. I've just been visited by a robin. I've filmed that, and the robin is back. So it seems to be a particular spot to come to for this robin. It seems to be quite unafraid of humans in that way. So perhaps there's a few people who feed him now and again. Unfortunately, the only thing I've got is coffee, so I don't think that would be very good for him. Or her, it could be a her. But this particular spot where I'm sitting is really, really beautiful. You know, it's got a couple of large flower beds, and they've been planted up with purples and whites and yellows and reds, greens. It looks really beautiful. Oranges, all kinds of different flowers. I'm not a horticulturist, as they call it, so I find it very difficult to determine which kind of flowers they are, to be honest. But I guess there's some out there who know what the kind of seasonal flowers that would be around this time of year. It really makes a really nice picture, nice and peaceful. And I can imagine that once we are in a more, say, enlightened way, more, let's say, the New Age, if you like, a new Earth. Once we are in that new Earth, this would be how it would be, not just in one part, but in many other parts of the world as well. Different areas, maybe less of the concrete jungles and more of places where people can still group together but still have space to enjoy nature and be at one with the wildlife and with nature itself. And I've been visited by a blackbird. I quite know this blackbird because I think it was last year I was making a film here, so just a little short film for YouTube at the time, and it chased me away. Because it had its nest nearby, and its partner was looking after the chicks, and it started chasing after me. To say, get away from my territory, kind of thing, because obviously it felt a bit threatened with me being so close to its nest. But not today. It's just going around, bopping around, looking for food. This is the kind of place that this park is. I've mentioned the park before, but you know, when you look at it on the map, I think I've mentioned before, it looks like a pizza. It looks like a slice of pizza, you know, triangular kind of shape. It's quite boutique, but it's very well maintained. It's just a little haven of peace. You know, there's houses around it, there's a busy road not far away, there's a railway track not too distant either. The centre of the town is just up the road, you know, it's just a haven of peace. It's somewhere to come to sit and meditate and to enjoy, you know, the beauty that is here. The bird song, trees which are almost in full leaf now. There's still a few trees yet to get to full leaf. They will do in the next few weeks or more or so, I'm sure. Lots of flowers out, natural flowers as well as the ones that have been planted. Yeah, and on a day like today, I mean, it's a little bit cloudy, but the sun's kind of breaking through. Yeah, there's a little bit of a breeze, but we're really getting into the summer feel now, and that's just absolutely brilliant. I love this time of year. Spring into summer, I would say, is my favourite time of year, followed by perhaps autumn, so into autumn. When it gets into winter, I'm not very keen on winter because it goes all dark and things like that. It doesn't affect my mood as such. It's just that, you know, I like it when it's light and bright and warm more than anything else. So I love winter days when the sun's out and it's bright and sunny, even though it may be cold. It's just this sense of warmth that you get on a cold winter's day when the sun is out. And I love winter time when people put the lights out, you know, Christmas time and all the Christmas decorations and things like that. Yeah, I like that. You know, whether it's walking through the town or in people's houses and so on, the lights are there and you have your own lights up. It brings that light into your home in that sense as well. Kind of peacefulness. But when it's dark, yeah, it can, well, in fact I know it does affect the mood of many people as well. And you know, sort of mentally wise, there's a lot of depression and so on because of the winter months. So I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like to live, you know, in areas near the North Pole where they have 6 months of darkness. Although, to be fair, I don't think it's complete darkness. It's more like twilight or dusk. So it might not be too bad. I don't know because I haven't experienced it. But certainly 6 months of daylight, it may also be a bit problematic if you're not used to it because of trying to get to sleep and things. The only time you like the darkness, really, isn't it? You know, when you're trying to get to sleep. But, this is just a lovely place. Just going to take a sip of my coffee. Just to sit and enjoy the coffee. And there's a few people around. Kids are obviously at school, but there's a few grandparents around and mothers with toddlers and things like that. And dog walkers, obviously, as well. But this is a really nice spot here, and it's near the cafe where I get my coffee from as well, so it's not too far away from that. But to be honest, there's nothing in this park is too far away from each other. But on really good days, you know, when the sun's really out and it's warm and that, the area where I am is very popular. You know, and all the seats get filled up and people are on the grass and stuff, so it's nice to be able to sit here pretty much on my own in that sense, because there's no others sitting in this area. Although I just spotted one lady, she's reading a book a bit further on. But apart from that, it's fine. And you can probably hear in the background there's a mower or agriculture or gardening vehicle of some kind. They've been cutting the grass yesterday, the day before. They've been cutting the grass here, so they're probably just finishing off in the area behind me. I was going to talk about something else, actually, guys. I was going to talk about, you know, because as you know, I've been studying mediumship and so on, and I wanted to share some of the things that I've learned, you know, from that, and such as about deceased loved ones, or those that we know who have deceased and so on. You know, do they know what we're doing? Do they, you know, do they still enjoy themselves And excuse me if you hear a lot of noise in the background. I'm just going to pause for a moment. Okay, so I think what they're doing is cutting the hedge or trimming the hedge, so hopefully it won't come up too far towards me. Yeah, so deceased loved ones, what do they do? Where do they go and things like that, Are they still around us? And the answer is yes, from what I've been learning. Your loved ones or those, your best friends or childhood friends and so on, anyone who's your relative really, or ancestor even, they still know who you are, because we are all connected on the energetic fields, as I said, energetic level. And we've had lives that we've lived before, and we've had people we've met before. So those who are in our, let's say, our soul tribe in that sense, they're still around us. Soulmates and friends and family and relatives and things. And we're all aspects of a greater whole. I think I've explained that before. So you're here, but there's still an aspect of yourself, which is the higher self, and other aspects of yourself in past lives and so on, which is a bit difficult to get your head around. But I'm not going to dwell on that today. Just to let you know that your loved ones are still looking out for you, and you may get a nudge now and again to do a certain task or go a certain way if you're out and about, or to call someone up and things like that. It may be very beneficial for you. Just have that sudden insight, you could say, to do something that you hadn't thought of before, and when you do it, you benefit from it. Those are the kinds of things that our loved ones do. They reach out to us in that way. Or you may when they're around because maybe you smell a fragrance, their favourite aftershave or the favourite perfume, cologne or whatever, or if they were smokers, maybe they had or used a particular sort of type of aromatic tobacco or something like that, and you smell that, or something, you see something that was a favourite flower of theirs, or you smell the flower, that kind of things, or those kinds of things, let you know that they're around you, and you can acknowledge them when you see something like that. You can acknowledge them. And I know when my mum's around because of bees, and it's not that she was a great fan of bees or anything like that. I mean, she might have liked bees and things, but she came from a coastal town called St. Bees. Yeah, so she came from this little coastal village called St. Bees, and when I see bees or sunflowers and bees, I know that my mum's around, and I give thanks for that and greet her and so on. And I have had one or two experiences where she's actually spoken to me in thought. It's not like I'm speaking to you now. I don't hear her like that. I hear her in thought, as if it was a thought that comes into my head, but I recognise the way she talks and her accent. And it hasn't happened often. It's only been a couple of times, and once or twice I have heard her, as you're hearing me now, as in just call my name. And that's another way of knowing when a loved one or a deceased loved one, relative or parent or whatever, is around you, because they may call out your name, or you hear a knocking, or your lights go flickering on, things like that. Sometimes they play little games. So I just thought I'd add that on to what I was talking about, let you know that because we are coming out of really troubled times, aren't we, with COVID and everything else, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have lost loved ones due to the COVID situation. Just to give you a little bit of comfort that they are around you, they are taking care of you, looking out for you. And if you acknowledge that, they'll be around you a lot more. They'll let you know more often that they are around you. And you'll see the signs, be more aware of certain sounds and smells and things like that. And even with, in the case of children, it may be things like a favourite toy, or something that brings back and evokes a memory of them, and that's been put there, if you like, deliberately, or you've been deliberately directed to that. It may be in a toy shop, or it may be in a supermarket that you or in the street you see something, another child with a similar kind of toy or a bike or something like that, and it evokes the memory of your child, and you know then that they are around you. And from all these kind of experiences, you also know that they are sending you so much love, so much love, all this heartfelt love is coming to you, wrapping their arms around you in that way and giving you a huge big love hug. And that's very comforting, and hopefully you find that comforting for yourself as well. So now I've got a plane flying overhead. I guess it's time for me to stop. That's a sign for me to stop talking, and it's time to move on in that sense. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope that was a bit of comfort for you, and I look forward to having a chat with you again very, very soon. Namaste.